Based on this script, I created the title Changing Course is Not Quitting, and I want to know if you think it's good. You have the right to look at the life you've built and say, I thought this was what I wanted. But it's not, if you're exhausted from insisting on something that has already lost its meaning. If you feel guilty just for thinking about changing course. If you're afraid that starting over means you failed. This is for you. Let me name what you might be feeling right now. Exhaustion, not physical exhaustion, but that emotional exhaustion that comes from forcing yourself to stay in something that no longer vibrates inside you. Guilt, for thinking about giving up after so much investment, so much effort, so much time dedicated. Fear of judgment. Fear of disappointing those who believed in you. Fear of admitting you were wrong. Fear of starting over and failing again. Ambivalence, that internal confusion between wanting to stay because it's safe, because it's already built, and wanting to leave because it no longer makes sense, because it's making you sick. And maybe worst of all, loneliness, the loneliness of not being able to talk about this. Because everyone around you only knows how to say keep going, don't give up, just push a little longer. Almost no one talks about realigning. If you're feeling this, you are not alone. And there is nothing wrong with you. Not every new beginning is born from failure. Many are born from clarity, from the awareness that comes when you finally stop convincing yourself and start truly listening to yourself. There is a kind of courage that makes no noise. It's the courage to admit that something has lost its meaning. That what once made you feel alive now only feels heavy. And when something no longer makes sense, insisting is not strength, it's attachment, it's fear. It's trying to convince yourself that staying hurts less than changing. And do you know what most people do? They ignore the signs, they procrastinate emotionally, they tell themselves it's just a rough phase, when in reality, it's a deep misalignment. The signs are clear, but we learn not to see them. You wake up and the first feeling isn't motivation, it's heaviness. You look at your schedule and feel a tightness in your chest, not enthusiasm. You talk about your plans and the words come out empty, mechanical, without any light in your eyes. You're physically present, but emotionally absent. You're completing tasks, but you've completely lost connection with purpose. Psychology is very clear about this. When the body starts to get sick, when exhaustion becomes a constant state, when enthusiasm gives way to apathy. That's not weakness, it's a signal of misalignment. A signal that you've grown, but remain stuck in an old version of your life. A signal that you evolved, but the path didn't evolve with you. And that is deeply human. And this is where behavioral economics introduces something called the sunk cost fallacy. It's when you keep investing in something just because you've already invested so much in the past. It's like continuing to watch a bad movie until the end just because you've already watched an hour of it. Like staying in a relationship that no longer works just because you've been in it for years. Like insisting on a career that's making you sick just because you studied for it for so long. Many people stay in paths that no longer fit simply because they've invested too much time, too much energy, too much love. But emotional intelligence doesn't work like that. Emotionally, mature people understand that past investment does not require permanent commitment. Past effort does not justify present suffering. You have the right to change your mind. And look, that doesn't mean you're fickle, indecisive, or unreliable. It means you're human. That you grow, that you learn, that you evolve. You may have dreamed of this for years. You may have dedicated yourself, believed in it, made plans, built entire expectations around this choice. But if today your body feels heavy, if your mind is exhausted, if your soul is in conflict, stubbornness will not save you. Changing course is not quitting. It's recognizing that you've evolved. Sometimes, to truly move forward, you need to take a few steps back, not as regression, but as recalibration. Think of it this way. If you're driving and realize you're on the wrong road, you don't keep going just because you've already driven miles. You stop, you recalculate, you change direction. Why would life be any different? This doesn't erase everything you lived. It doesn't invalidate your effort. It doesn't make you a failure. It just makes you more aware, more aligned, more honest with who you truly are today. Emotional maturity is knowing how to close cycles without turning them into drama, guilt, or shame. It's understanding that growth also requires renunciation, renouncing paths that no longer match who you've become. And renunciation is not loss. It's release. It's making space. It's saying no to what no longer serves you so you can say yes to what truly fits you now. Many times, you arrive exactly where you wanted to be. You look around and realize, I thought this was it. But it's not, and that is valid. This happens because we change. The person who set that goal 5 years ago is not the same person you are today. You had different needs, different priorities, a different worldview, and when you finally reach that goal, you realize it no longer fulfills you. Because it was designed for who you were, not for who you've become. The problem is that almost no one talks about this. They talk about persistence, endurance, pushing through. Few talk about realigning when inner alignment is lost. How many people do you know living small, frustrated, or empty lives? Not because they lack ability, but because they're afraid to change, afraid of judgment, afraid of disappointing others, afraid of admitting they were wrong, afraid of starting over and not succeeding, and that fear is real. Because society celebrates persistence but punishes change of direction. It celebrates those who never quit, but judges those who quit halfway. But is it really quitting? Or is it the courage to recognize that this is no longer your path? You are not obligated to live the same life just because you once announced that plan out loud. You can change course without disrespecting who you were, without being ashamed of your previous path. Starting over doesn't erase your story. Starting over integrates your story. Every choice you made up to now taught you something, shaped you in some way, prepared you for the next step, even if that next step is in a different direction. That relationship that didn't work taught you about your limits. That career you left showed you what you no longer want. That dream you released freed you for bigger, more aligned dreams. You don't need to pretend it was easy. You don't need to romanticize the pain. But you also don't need to carry shame. I've had to start over many times. And every restart didn't weaken me. It made me more aware, more aligned, more honest with myself. And do you know what I learned? That starting over is not failing. It's tuning. It's adjusting. It's choosing consciously instead of living on autopilot. And if you're reading this now feeling that your time has come, take a deep breath. You are not failing, you are evolving, and evolution sometimes looks like collapse before it looks like growth. Like confusion before it looks like clarity. Like an ending before it looks like a beginning. And that's scary. Because we want certainty before changing, we want guarantees. We want to know it will work before taking the first step, but life doesn't work that way. Clarity doesn't come before action, it comes during. It comes when you allow yourself to experiment, make mistakes, and adjust. Allow yourself to start over as many times as necessary. As long as you're alive, there is always time. There is always possibility. There is always choice. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need to prove you tried hard enough. You don't need to justify your decision to people who never lived your reality. Because the one living your life is you. The one waking up every day carrying this weight is you. The one feeling the misalignment in your body is you. So the decision also needs to be yours. Everything begins when you give yourself permission. Permission to admit that it's not working. Permission to feel fear and still choose differently. Permission to disappoint some people if that means honoring yourself. Permission to start over from zero as many times as needed. That's not instability, that's self-awareness. And self-aware people don't live perfect lives. They live aligned lives. They don't get it right the first time. But they allow themselves to recalibrate. They're not afraid to change direction. They're afraid of living a life that isn't theirs. And maybe this is the most important question you can ask yourself right now. Am I living my life, or the life others expect from me? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, you already know what you need to do. If you made it this far and felt like this video was speaking directly to you, Comment below, I can change. This isn't about convincing anyone. It's about giving yourself permission. It's about breaking the silence. It's about allowing yourself to be seen in this process. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Sometimes, the right words at the right time change everything. Subscribe to the channel for more content about real emotional intelligence, no shallow self-help, no magic formulas. Just truth, awareness, and respect for your journey. You are more capable than you imagine.